Ayo, and welcome to the stream. It's Hunter Maury here with Brescia FC and Football Manager 2022. So, I was debating a little bit over the weekend. I did put some effort into the offseason. I will recap kind of what has gone on so far to this point as we get the stream started. But I think I will look to finish another season before we really jump into Football Manager 23. I don't think I'm going to jump into some beta stuff. I think I want some things to be locked down. It's going to take some time to step up. I'm also going on vacation next week, so I think every stream until Football Manager 23 is going to be Football Manager 22. I was looking at Triangle Strategy potentially, but I just think that, at least for the first couple of seasons through Football Manager 23, we will probably look to play them all. So I'm thinking it's going to be a lot of Brescia for the near future as we look to get our title. Look to keep our title. Hold on. Did this it did reset. I felt like I was peeking out there, so apologies if it was a little louder than usual. But yeah, so we're going to look to bring Brescia all the way in to the championship. I got distracted by that. But we are pretty much ready to start the season. The UEFA Super Cup. Then we got a friendly, at least one. I think at least one in between. No, we do have Serie, but I may schedule a friendly. We don't play friendlies. You notice we were in China, and we we're blasting the goals home a little bit. Everybody kind of getting in on the fun up to this point. So that's really how the games have gone. I don't play the friendlies. It wasn't we were there. It was just to simulate and go. I did also consider that. I kind of wish I would have thought of the idea to just only do the off seasons and only do the important games. Or something like that, and then do the quick simulation, because I do have that option. I do kind of wish I thought about that, because we may have looked to do that just to try to get a few more years out of Brescia. But I think we will do kind of one more serious year, kind of the we accomplished the goal of the series. We won the Champions League. We won Serie A. We've overtaken Milan. At least once. And we'll see kind of if we can do it again. If we don't, we did accomplish the goal. If we didn't, well, there. So we'll take our time through it and get it moving. Unfortunately, it does mean we never really became the top European club, which is, I think, my goal in the next iteration of the game in Football Manager 23. I want to be one of the most dominant teams in Europe. I want to be spending 100 million every off season. I want to be pushing all the way to the top. That's kind of the goal, if that makes any sense at all, is to be one of the top most competitive teams throughout it all. So because of that, as I'm kind of alluding to, we didn't get a lot of transfer budget, but we did sell a lot. We were actually negative 20 million in the payroll hole. And we've worked on some sales, very little incomings. Yeah, there is a transfer history, right? So as you can see, we brought in, or we're looking to bring in, Cesarano. I don't even think we have brought him in yet. But we're looking to bring in Antonio Cesarano. And then the big hitters, Giovanni Miranda. So he ended up wanting a new contract here. He's always been kind of ambitious. Unfortunately, his agent, I don't think, really paired well in our current setup. And I was really trying to squeeze the deal as much as I could. So Giovanni Miranda was sold because I ended up breaking multiple promises to him and going. I do think that opens up, we need something in the midfield as kind of the one big piece that I think remains. The other big sale was Rafik Nordbo, who it looked like nobody was really going to come for him, but then eventually some teams became interested at the price we wanted, the more like 40 something million. And so we were able to make a big sale there to help out the funds. We kind of knew that was gonna happen. We also moved on from maybe one of our top youth players that we've came through us in Valentino Martinarini. He will go to rivals Atalanta. They just gave us like $3 million for him. We loaned him out a couple of times for a touch of profit. Never was really successful at Serie A. Like a lot of guys that have come through our ranks, they just weren't good enough for the level that we are at now. And we don't have a lot of those prospects. Not that we're gonna get to see too many more of them, but I do think Martinarini was kind of a must sell. We also move on from a lot of our youth players, selling Billy Jackson, Pasquarello, Prioetti. Yeah, I don't know. This whole list is there. We also moved some of our older players. Cardella and Grecci are two of those other top prospects that didn't quite make it for us. And we look to move on. We also, the other big one is Jan Valeda, is now at Paris Saint-Germain. Another loan with some extra money, and they do have an optional buy clause. And, we have future sales on him. So I could see them potentially going for this. I do think that he's, not a bad player. But he just was making so much money here that we couldn't really support it when you're like 20, minus 20 in the hole, even after a couple big sales. He's maybe one we could have tried a year with. We're talking about that spot in the midfield kind of opening up a little bit, and he's got the passing, the vision, the technique, but maybe not the supreme athleticism. He maybe could have been something there, but I think we've just been, it's not necessarily disappointed, but we've just we've been okay to move away from Jan Valeda, right? And so I'm hoping they pick that up. Fizzore is another guy that we actually purchased, who again could have maybe been useful in the midfield in hindsight after having to get rid of Giovanni Miranda. These are both moves I made prior to that, but hopefully he's already had a lot of success in Denmark, in 5 appearances, a goal and 3 assists already, so get him a little bit of playing time at kind of a serious level. I don't know that he'll ever really make an appearance in this series, but something. And the other big name that will probably never make an appearance in the series is Dario Reina. So I maybe could have kept him and tried him as depth this year. But honestly, his athleticism is pretty weak sauce outside of the jumping reach. And it's not like he's got some sort of supreme thing. He is a guy that I think almost doesn't have it in the right areas. So you almost need to take it a little bit slow with him. Regardless, the other big thing is we now have 15 scouts in our assignment. So we should be working through things quickly. You can see I specialized a few people, so it's not, we didn't necessarily cover more of the world, although I do have somebody who is not used to the northern regions is kind of looking at the Scandinavian region. So, but we're hopefully going to be a little bit more focused to see, and priorities wise, we've been filling up the priorities kind of like crazy here. So, it's going to take a while. We probably won't even get through this list, even with a lot of these being 1 year scout, or 1 week scouts. and move on type things. But we're checking it out and should hopefully move through somewhat quickly is the hope. So anything else occur in the offseason? So nothing else really special. The one kind of remaining thing is, so I did go after Remo Cesario. Looking to bring him in as a potential like depth striker. I almost think we're maybe gonna loan him out. Just trying to get one of those like really good players in Italy. We don't have a ton of these like Italian guys coming through. He's one of the best youth players in all of Italy, and so we're just looking to bring something in like that. We did that on the defensive side as well. And Antonio Cesarano. So he's kind of the guy that's here instead of Dario Reina, and I mean looks pretty good to potentially get some opportunities. So we'll see about it. I do think Cesarano will probably play. And then the other big acquisition, which was something we did last year, is to get Danny Olmo on a free. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. I did also look to bring Nukel Mino back, but he on loan from Chelsea one more time. But the attacking midfielder, they just want too much for him. He's not really listed for loan, so he might be getting an opportunity at Chelsea. If not, we'll kind of keep our eye on maybe some loan options, guys that get listed for loan specifically in that advanced midfield role. Because I'm kind of maybe leaning towards losing one of our deep-lying playmakers. I'm almost leaning towards either starting Raska there again, which isn't horrible. He's just not amazing at it, right? Right. But the other guy I'm thinking about is Oscar Cueva. So it maybe whoever we pick up makes a lot of the decisions, but I think he could be kind of... He's not super great defensively, but I don't think that he's horrid necessarily. He can kind of get in the way. It's definitely not our strongest defensive move, but I do think Cueva is maybe intriguing enough to get on the field, right, as much as possible. I do think attacking midfielder still probably is best. We'll just always have a pretty good player there, and so we're more looking for... What we really wanted is a really good deep-lying playmaker, but I just have not been able to find it. And kind of bad news. Is it Joel, right? Probably one of the best deep-lying playmakers in the entire game has been picked up by rivals AC Milan. So, continuing how much money that they spend, Milan just spent 154 million on Joel Jumper. So, can we see? And, I mean, look, so Busio, Mia, and that was the other big news. Safanov is gone. So they're not, like, completely overspending the way that Basilo and Igor last year, but you see they were able to spend 30 million, or nearly, 30 million. They were able to spend nearly 300 million last year, and again, through sales of some significant players. It's not like, but the 100 million guy that they upgraded for a 200 million guy, an 80 million guy that they upgraded for a 95 million dollar guy, and not to necessarily say that's everything, but couple of players, they spend 300 million. Now they're right back to it already at 150 million this year. So that's kind of what we're going up against. Again, it's not like they're going too crazy, but it's just they are working in a different league than we are working, where we're scraping together $100 million worth of sales to bring in a bunch of children, to bring in a bunch of unproven Italian prospect type guys. So it is definitely that's kind of one of those things of like where I was talking about like if we can move it quicker, because I almost do think it needs 5 more years before we're kind of consistently at Milan's level, competing that way. And even that, we probably would need like another stadium upgrade. You know, like, so in reality of things, we might be more like 20 years off from really doing what Milan is doing. It's not to say that we can't be competitive, but they're a really tough ask in our current iteration of the game, just of how dominant they have been. So, a pretty long intro here, I think 15 plus minutes, but we're going to kind of jump right into a game here, the UEFA Super Cup. The other thing I started thinking about, I might send my assistant this year, just to speed it up a little bit. You're a professional. We might, and then we might just try to monitor it a little bit, and just say like, hey, we've had a lot of success. I've done a lot. I've answered the same questions for like 2 decades. Let somebody else kind of handle it. So I think we're gonna send Pero this year on press conferences and stuff. So this is something that I was looking for. I kind of assumed they would be rejected, but so where I went for this, and we may not get much out of it, even if I do work with this, where is it? Finances. The club is sitting with now a $100 million balance after the sales. Now, we do have a loan to repay, which I think is part of the hesitation. I think we are paying $200 million a month, which is like $4 million or something when everything's said and done. 200K a month. I don't know if I said that correctly, but so I don't know, you know. But we are sitting where we're kind of calling ourselves rich, and that's where I was like, can I get a little bit more money to maybe work? Yeah, so it seems like they're gonna kind of put their foot down on that one. All I was really hoping for, to be honest, and I was like, I've been monitoring this constantly. I don't know if I should have just like waited, but I wanted this like percentage of transfer revenue increased. But maybe you can only do it every few months or something. Okay. That's fine. Straight up 5 mil with no extra fees or anything. You're in like Serie C, right? Oh no, you're in Serie B. I I might actually be willing to do that one. So, one of the other things that is up in the air a little bit. So, I would like to sell Vanguard Stromberg. He does not want to be listed, which is fine. It essentially means I don't think he's going anywhere. The guy that then I think jumps out to me becomes Mohamed Yenner. But I kind of was discussing last year about wanting that Satriano, that next Satriano type guy. And I do think his passing's a little low, ultimately, passing vision. And maybe we could work on that. But I actually think his athleticism's not bad. He does have some jumping reach and a pretty good heading skill. So he's kind of got those other things that make me very interested in him as kind of the Satriano second player. And then we're kind of looking here at Cesario is potentially could be a backup for I mean, he's right-footed, but he could kind of be that advanced forward more, right? Got the acceleration, got the pace, some of those things that make him kind of intriguing in that realm. And does have some passing, but doesn't necessarily have the vision, right? Could be kind of the Cabrera backup. And we could go, while we would get worse there, Stromberg, the sale of Stromberg, if we could sell him for like 80, 90 million, right? Could be significant. Could be significant. So that would maybe be one thing of like, let's not loan Cesario now to try and get Stromberg out. But I honestly think we would probably be able to survive with Yenner behind Satriano, barring an injury. But then we also now have Danny Olmo. Maybe whoever we pick up could play striker, something like that. But so that was kind of my one thinking here about Cesario. Could be he could be intriguing. But I actually think we'll accept this loan back. I haven't usually done that. But he will be a regular starter there. So, I mean, yeah, I agree you're more of a breakthrough prospect. Yeah, he's not gonna like this, though. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can offer. Alright, well, I can deal with that next year then. Or maybe I don't have to deal with it at all. So it's a bit pricey, I think, for kind of where he's at currently, but he does have some potential, and we'll see what he can do. You know, he's not killing it yeah, maybe that's what I should have looked at. Was he like having success there already? But we are taking his wage off the books, in a way, right? For them, so maybe they can sign another player. Or do something else. Don't know. Yeah, we're okay with pretty much any loans. Although I did clean a lot of that out. Galbraith. Won't be ready for this match, but good to see that he's back. I forgot. Sports hernia. I do think that was... So that's like all of our transfer budget. Actually, I can't do that. I will just do normal. As much, I would like to, but we're trying to maybe work something out of this like transfer. Like if I could sell like if Stromberg was on the market and teams wanted him, I would maybe be willing to do that. Of like, okay, we'll shop Stromberg, and that's kind of those are the remaining transfers. But if I up that all the way, then I don't get this the guy we like literally just signed. Or trying to sign. So I can't do that. And maybe I could not do the domestic cup, but I kind of have a feeling that's not enough, you know? And I do think... Oh, it might not be anymore, though. Oh, and then one other thing. Nordberg. Yeah. Okay, cool. But yeah, so yeah, Malacia I also have listed. I think we would just try to look at like a loan potentially just to fill up there. But if he doesn't go, he doesn't go. I'm not too concerned about that. Nordberg I had listed for a while, but I think we're gonna sign him just because the team got thinner yet again, and he is one guy that can play a lot of positions at like a decent level, not necessarily a good level, but a decent level. So, and honestly, if we sell Malacia, maybe he just full-time is left wing, and sometimes maybe chips into the midfield or something, right? So, Bio is injured. Barike, I guess because he's just so lacking sharpness, they gave me somebody. It's interesting. Supekovic, Abdullev, or Orestes. Yeah, I guess Galbraith is hurt. We'll do a little bit of rotating, just trying to get players in. Could do that and like... Nah, we'll play Madu. That's fine. We'll also get Danny Olmo out there for the first time. We'll get Satriano out there for Stromberg. Though I do think Stromberg's had a good preseason. I think we'll do a little bit of that. Yeah, Adebayo is probably the other biggest injury from the preseason. Something I didn't really mention too much, but okay. Oh, and I didn't add the faces. I'll try to remember to do that later. Do I feel the ambitions are? Yeah, I do. We just don't have a ton of money to spend. I would like to look towards the future. I'm looking forward to see what he can bring to the team. Oscar Cueva there. So I do think we'll do some little pre-match conference-y stuff. I do think post-match conferences will probably also leave. But little tunnel talks, it's kind of like you grab me, and I'm like, okay. Here's where you can get my 2 cents a little bit. So, trying to use this as like an extra preseason game, but also a chance to win another trophy. And I didn't really get my tactic in order for that, but it's not like a huge deal either way for me, but we'll see how it goes. He can do both, but he's even stronger cutting in. And he's definitely looking to cut in. So I think we'll just, like, if you guys are jumping up in there, get pressed a little bit. They got a lot of defense going on that one. Didn't set up any new set pieces or something. Danny Olmo, I guess, probably is pretty decent at some of those things, so I maybe should. We have a Satriano looking to tip it to Cabrera, can't quite get it back to his keeper. From Muhammad. Patrick DePaula. And back to Carnesecchi through a little bit of bouncing around. Nice ball forward. Abdullaev cuts it out, but a mistake, and Gonzalez does not capitalize. Could have been huge for Liverpool. Brescia yet to generate a shot. They have possession. But we're not doing too much with it. And Francisco Gonzalez puts it home. Yeah, it's tough one to defend. Generates a little bit of space, takes the shot, but Gonzalez able to get another touch on it. You kind of almost just hope that that guy's offside or something. And Danilo Pekovic answers the set piece kings that are Brescia. And Pekovic, one of the best players in the entire world. I don't know when, like, how do you say that? Ballon d'Or? I don't know when that voting is in this game, if that was said kind of at the end of the season. If it was said at the end of the season, he didn't win it. If it's kind of like it is in real life, which I imagine it should be, we have yet to find out. But he could be. Cueva. Satriano. And the top goal scorer for Brescia last year. Doubles their tally and gives them a lead. Nicely done by Cabrera there. And then Cueva rotating out. I do think that is one thing that the advanced or attacking midfielder doesn't do much for Cueva is get him on the wing. Outside of maybe like set pieces and stuff. But I think he could actually be... So like that's one nice thing about him in a deep lying playmaker role. A little bit. Because those guys get to step up. And now it's Ali Muhammad on the backside. And just poor defending. I think he just got a really good matchup. He looks massive. How big is he? Yeah, nobody really on him. Orestes. Yeah, it looked like the game just kind of decided Pekovic was supposed to be the guy to get out there on him. It's a bit of a shame. It just seemed like he was kind of unmarked, unfortunately. Tough day for Olmo, tough day for Cabrera. Nicely stolen there by Olmo, though. Cueva, Cabrera. He had to kind of help hold up play. A little off. Do. Tries to find Cabrera. Does. Can't put it by the keeper. Good little play. Sudden burst. And a chance on the corner just before half. Pekovic was trying to get it back to Abdulev. But Patrick DePaula there. And Abdulev will bring him down and get a card for his services. And a chaotic 2-2. One each from set pieces. And then a couple of nice crosses. Yeah, if we play our game, we started generating things. We just kind of had a tough start, I think, so... I'm not going to switch anything up at the moment. Cueva. Barclay. He's going to look for Satriano, who does get it on goal, and Danny somehow turns it wide. A good chance there early in the second half for Brescia. And another corner. Pekovic. Satriano. Looking to go wide, a slide tackle and a throw in. And another chance to get Satriano on a back post. Nothing comes of it. Matu, looking for Pekovic. Gonzalez beats him out for it. Olmo, Satriano. Pekovic, Satriano. And he looks to blast it, but just wide. Little bit of space for the striker. Barclay. And Brescia looks to find a little bit. So we'll definitely get Barcelo out there. I'm also thinking Oscar Cueva up, Peter Raska in. Shore up that defense. Play that defense first mentality. Looks for Satriano, who blasts it again. This time it's deflected and a corner. Into Cabrera, Satriano. Looks to have a go. Finds Satriano again. A beautiful first touch and a brilliant finish. Pure majesty from Martin Satriano for his second of the day, and another lead for Brescia. I mean, well done again by Cabrera to bring it down. Madu, though, gets kind of the fortune, but it's that first touch and that finish. The brilliance on the play. I think I'm going to get Stromberg out there for Cabrera. Cabrera's just feeling nervous, and that's weird to me. I don't know if it's just like such a big game. What a beautiful goal. What a beautiful goal. Not a lot we can do about that one, to be honest. Just blasted. Yeah, I do feel like our wall was short there. I don't know. Maybe I just need to like reset some things. Enough changes that things are weird. And over the bar for Pekovic. We're generating a lot more though this second half. Not super high quality chances, but some. Pekovic over. Oh. I mean, if that is it, this is the greatest hat trick I think I've ever seen from anybody. I mean, I love what Pekovic is trying to do. Did Satriano stray? He did. Oh. So unfortunate. That was such a brilliant chip in from Pekovic. Yeah, Satriano didn't quite get back in time. Oh. Pekovic again. Wide. Diogo Spencer. Searching. We'll take that. Raska flips it out to Barcelo. Back to Orestes. We need to steal another set piece goal. They got 2 on us today. We got 1 on them. That's what we really need. Barcelo. Brescia's still just looking for space. Orestes. Raska. Cueva searching for Barkley. What a ball. Barclay. Putting it. Satriano. Nearly. Another chance for his third. I don't know what the rules are, too. If this goes to extra time. I honestly don't know who's the most important to, like, get off the field at that point. Probably Barclay. And just hope that Pekovic and company survive. Stromberg. Chipped into Satriano. A chance to finish it. But he was offside again. Need one more moment of brilliance from this Brescia squad. Oh, nice header along. Stromberg with the chance. Got the keeper way out, and he hits the post off the outside. An opportunity on his stronger foot. Where you would want your striker. And he couldn't do it. And I think we go right to Stefan Birkenbaum. I'm going to trust Madu, Cueva, Pekovic, Satriano. Guys that have been out there the whole game. Striker's offside again. Barcelo. And just a little too much on it. He had the bodies. Barcelo touches it wide. Looks early. Stromberg, and it's just wide. Oh. Restart the second half of extra time. you go. Yeah. We'll probably look to cut in a little bit. Okay, so a little extra. Do searches for Stromberg. A looping chance. Another one-on-one chance for Stromberg. This time, he finishes it off. Birkenbaum drops it into Madu. Madu has just been dealing all day long in a big game. Yeah. Oops. Into Stromberg. He's going to look to play Satriano through. A chance for Satriano's hat trick. But he was offside yet again. They go to a 4-4-2. Powell and Bradshaw are still the wide men, and I'm okay. Touch. Stromberg. Back to Raska. He looks to flip it to Barcelo. Can't. You know what? That's the other thing I can do. Pull these guys back a little bit. I don't think that that's going to be too crazy, but we're not going to make too much of a difference. Honestly, I think if Liverpool score again, it's going to be off of a set piece. I'd say, as the ball rolls out for a corner. So, a little extra football. A lot of extra football, actually, to start our season. I may not schedule that other friendly. Well, maybe I will, and just make sure all the youth guys play in it. Primarily. Oh, nice hustle from Stromberg in a key moment. The fresh legs there, I think, are making a difference. Pavard searching forward. Bradshaw. Oh, he cuts inside Barcelo. A good move. Bodies forward. Gonzalez! Nearly could have had it with not much time remaining. Carnesecchi, though, able to make the play. Liverpool get another chance. This time they hoof it forward quickly. Carnesecchi will blast it forward again. Search of Stromberg. Drop down for Cueva. Oscar Cueva a chance. Trying to go around the keeper, but cannot. One extra minute. So we look to end it. Liverpool searching. And that's a goal kick. Brescia will take their time. Only 20 more seconds minimum. A good one header. Ramirez. Liverpool searching forward. Gonzalez dropping all the way back. Probably not where you want him in the final attack. But can he make a good run? No. Pekovic cuts it out. And that is game. The winners of the UEFA Super Cup are the treble winners from last year. I mean, it was really more of like a double. More like a double. But more hardware for this Brescia squad. After winning 3 trophies last season. We were the better team the entire second half, the entirety of extra time. Deserved that. We deserved that goal there. That's probably our big regret of everything. I think that's probably the Stromberg miss. Really should have done it for us. But we do not come to regret it. Anthony Madu, Martin Satriano, and a brilliant substitute performance from Stromberg. I mean, it's always nice to win trophies, and I'm really pleased for everybody that was involved in this success. Yeah, it only goes to show the great level of spirit that the locker room, they refuse to be beaten. Yeah, moments like that often prove pivotal, and it's a great way to start our season with that type of winner. Through the adversity. And we do win. We do win some money, baby. Woo! And a medal for 15 players who had to at least play in the match. I wouldn't swap him. Not even Zappasotti. A little shot. Well, no offense to Anthony Madu, but I would maybe swap him for Zappasotti. I mean, I don't know. It's close. It's close, for sure. Zappasotti is just so athletic, right? Better defender, better physically, better speed, but not as good offensively. So Madu is maybe a slightly more well-rounded player. Yeah, it is really kind of pick your poison of those two. So what would this be? Sunday we would want a game, potentially? Ahead of these friendlies, then we can, anybody who doesn't get a chance to play could play in the friendly. Well, that almost maybe even makes me think Saturday, though that's not a lot of, free time. But I just kind of want to like maybe see it tick over, and then who needs it. Yeah, how about like Citadella coming in? Another tune-up, but against something maybe a little closer to home. An Italian club. Hey. Well, so that happened in this series. In 2023, Ben Chilwell got 2 assists in the UEFA Super Cup. He's at Real Madrid now? Okay, interesting. But Anthony Madu just broke it with 3 in one game. I mean, it was extra time. Team's still going after Olimpio Bial. Yeah, I wasn't really interested in him years ago, and now we're still not really interested in him. Sure, that's fine. This has got to be set pieces. Physical recovery. Match view. Team bonding. Azzolini. Actually, we should maybe look at Azzolini. Azzolini is the other really good Italian center back. And he is listed. And then Remy De Smet goes to the Arsenal U18s. He's good. Good little player, but not quite. So Torino seem like they're in pole position to potentially get Bial. Yeah, I do kind of wish I maybe had full control over this game. I guess I could I guess I could take control and then do some things, but Andrew Jenkins, the English striker. $200K. Is that because he's at the under? Come on. Stockpile a little bit. I don't know. He does have the injury bug. And then the other interesting thing is he's got fantastic first touch and passing, but then doesn't really have much vision. So he's not actually like super good at those things. I mean, I like the guy that we picked up already better. But he is an intriguing player just to like, I mean, for 300K, right? Like, he's better than like everybody we have training in the organization, right? Yeah, they might ask for more from us since we are in a higher division. You can see there. I don't know. But anyway, we will bring in Remo Cesario. He will go right back. I'm actually kind of in hindsight. I wish I didn't do that. I should note to self for the loan back in the future. Check the history and how well he did at the club. Might give you a sign of like how they're using him, how well he's doing. Note to self. Sure. Sure. So we'll loan him out. Perfectly fine by me. I should check promises to make sure I didn't promise. I mean, I think he would have been on the loan list. But I should make sure I didn't promise that I was going to loan out Cesarano. Yeah, so my only promise currently is Mohamed Yenner, as far as I know. And that was already canceled, so. For that much, bruh? For that much? Yeah. I wish, dude. This is who I really want. I want Jean Arnaud. Like, if I could just spend money on, like, any player, like 100 mil, just on anybody, it would be Arnaud. Jean Arnaud. Ah, he's so pure. He's so, like, he's so good. Our club would be in so much debt, though. Like, not only do I think I would have to sell, but then Olmo kind of becomes the backup, or becomes like the deep line playmaker or something, you know. Cooking. Oh. I meant to set up the team. We might end up playing Citadella before I set up the team, though. Because I think it'll go in. Like, I don't think they'll automatically switch this, even though I told them to, like, go in. But make sure Nordberg plays. I don't care about the keeper, but I also don't think Karnaseki needs to play. Galbraith, definitely. Get the kid out there. Get Monty. Well, Denis. Denis needs to play. Okay. Birkenbaum, Barcelo. Get Malacia back out there. Raska. Olmo. You can see that's where we're short. We're short a guy in our midfield for show. And then Yenner. And make sure those guys at least get the start. He's solid, dual-footed. I don't know. I think we'll keep an eye on him. Like, I don't think right now, but could be. There's a lot of stuff like coming through suddenly. We'll do that. And then I think we'll play some people. It might even be the U18s just to give them a little bit more time to rest. But just in case they don't get, like, enough playtime. Monty, somebody who's probably not going to get enough playtime. Brescia strolled to success. Yenner scored. Then Cesarano scored. Stromberg scored 3 times, Denis, then Cesarano again, then Satriano just to rub it in at the end. Yep, that's, I mean, that's what we wanted to do, so. Jimenez, I mean, really agile, really good dribbler. Huh, it's interesting. Cheap midfielder with good pace, good passing. I don't think that would be our move. I mean, we have this defense isn't great. Like, we do have the non-EU spots, and that's cheap. It could be an interesting option for a body. Could be. Appreciate the follow, Martin JF. Welcome. Unpredictable. Oh, yeah. I guess it's a fair description. 18 flair, 16 dribbling. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I must have seen unpredictable before, though. He's interesting. He's got some of those, like, weird upsides that, like, strangely, I think if you found, like, the right role for him, he would probably be pretty good in it somehow. You know what I mean? It would be a weird role. But just, like, the pure playmaker, like, maybe, honestly, maybe a deep-lying playmaker if you can, like, support him defensively. So Cicerano and Bakiri there. I think Yenner and well, say like 45. I'll actually limit him to like 45 that time. Tottenham now in for Jenkins. It's just available, I guess. So we'll do it. So we've sold more season tickets than I think our our old stadium used to hold. I don't recall the capacity. But that seems like more than the old stadium used to hold. I also don't know. I don't think our expansion is gonna be quite done for this first home game. Have I thought of my FM23 save? I'm not sure yet, but I do think my baseline goal is to become one of the best teams in Europe. I think I'm ranked like 12th in the world or whatever in this save, so like we did a pretty good job. But I think I want more years in that level. So my thought is to go to like a lesser, like out of the top 5 leagues, and just try to take down like a Titan, like an Ajax, or I'm not as familiar with, but like or something in the Bundesliga. I think, you know, but yeah, something like that where I start maybe a little higher than I have before, just to go and like take down a top club in a certain league, become that team that's like always the number 1 out of that, and just kind of like dominant. Yeah, I mean, I think like Ajax is a great team. So, oh yeah, maybe to clarify, not take over Ajax, like take a team in like the Netherlands and like surpass them, essentially. But I don't know whether I want to do that there or in Belgium or in Portugal or some other league quite yet. I want to look at them. I want to look at like each of those leagues and see which one is fun to play in. I could end up in the Bundesliga. I think is definitely also a possibility though. But I want to live probably by like year 5. I want to kind of consistently be the top team there, and then we're just kind of pushing for like 5 years towards Champions League and stuff. Yeah, so that's the registration rules are the things that I need to like figure out. So like if Belgium's really restrictive, I'm just not familiar with them. If Belgium is really restrictive, probably not going to do that because of I'm already running into the restrictions of Serie A, and I don't mind what I'm going through in Serie A, but I haven't had too many problems. But I'd like to maybe be a little bit more open, get a little bit more creative in where we're scouting and where we're doing things, what type of players we're bringing in, stuff like that. So a little bit of thought, but nothing too. But I don't have like a team in mind. I agree. I think some people overblow what Serie A is. I don't think it's like crazy. I think just people are used to signing like every wonder kid of the in like Brazil or something. And exactly, the 2 non-EU signing, I think a lot of people have like a big problem with, and it's like I didn't really find that hard. There's probably one player that I like missed out on, but I ended up signing a non-EU guy that season, so it wasn't my non-EU spot. It was just like the money I had physically at the time. Like another team just happened to start bidding before I did, and before I quite generated the money. And that's probably my only regret in this entire series, was like one player that ended up being brilliant. But that would have been really who I would have really liked to have right now, actually, is kind of the bigger thing. Oh yeah, I wanted to like something like that. Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll look at Inter next week. But yeah, I haven't necessarily found the two non-EU super difficult. But just being a little bit more open would be nice. But what am I doing? Oh, Adebayo can play? No, not really. Captain for the season. Well, Satriano definitely. Yeah, Orestes may not be as suitable by the end of the year as I'm looking to get Galbraith more time, but I don't know if it's worth putting Galbraith there right now. Because Orestes is still a pretty influential player in the locker room. So until that drops. Can we see more of this list? What is that? Well, I guess you can see the summary there. So, I mean, I've kind of been considering this the last few seasons, so it's interesting. I've never seen this in the game of acknowledging. But seriously, there's so much room. I can only see 2 results at a time. Must be like a skin issue. That like they probably Zealand didn't even know that this like screen existed. So Milan have gotten the better of us. Yes, this is all the way back to 2022, the very beginning. Seems like a bug. Yeah, not sure. Yeah, not sure where it's coming from. But the last few years, we've gotten some wins in there. It's kind of tough to tell. But we're competing. Milan have been the top team in Serie A in this series. They lost only one time. I'm not sure about the first year, but since we've been in Serie A, they've only lost twice. Once to Juventus like 5 years ago, and once to us last season. So, unsurprisingly, I think a very deserved rivalry. Again, didn't know that this screen existed. Yeah, it does seem like it doesn't like loading all that history either. How bad was it? Really, the first time we played them, we drew? That's crazy. First 2 times? Then that's more like it. These are the results I remember. 7-1, 6-0, 6-2, 3-1, 4-1, 3-1, 0-1, extra time, beating us by 1. That's disheartening. Then a couple draws and then get stomped 4-0. And we finally won 1. And what was that? The first leg was 2-0, and from away goals we like somehow scored 4. And that was the first time we beat Milan 2 years ago. Really. Since then they beat us 2-0, 2-0, 1-0, then we won. A lot of 2-0s in there. So as of recently, it's been a little bit better. I don't care. Discouraged from taking long shots. Sure, I could do that. Sure, we could do that. Although it does also make me feel like I am missing like an aggressive player in my back line because I feel like all of them don't dive into tackles. And Nordberg inks a new contract. Man United signed Waldemar. What an interesting career for him. Atletico make a good move. What's he looking like right now? Not bad. I made a save too at 0 out with AC Milan, where I never had a good new gen in my youth intakes. Yeah, well, they currently have one of the top ones, but honestly, I don't think that they... You know what's weird? I don't know how much they've produced new gens. So, going back to Waldemar's history, we bought him for 16, ended up selling him for 11 as we were just looking to raise funds and transition the defense. Didn't really get too much action at Atletico, but then Man United sweep him up. They pay the English tax, essentially, to get him out of Spain, I guess. Seems like a lot for him, to be honest. I didn't think he would sell for that much again. But we do get 20%. Of the profit, so a decent chunk of change for us. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I wonder, where's a good way to check? See, they probably don't hold on to a lot. Like, in my save in particular, they probably didn't hold on to a lot of guys. Because... I mean, like, I know they don't have to be, like, Italian. Yeah, maybe just age. I mean, unsurprisingly, it was from South Korea first. I know that they bought Silvestrini from somebody else. No non-Italians on the team. And then I know that they bought maybe this guy. So that's a regen. I don't think he's very good. I mean, I don't know about him. But at 21, I think my scouts would have at least been like, he's kind of interesting, right? If he was interesting. And then they bought. Pretty sure they bought this guy. Yeah. Bought. Real. And then we're into, like, real players. So, yeah, I mean... Not necessarily to say that, like, they don't have good youth players or anything that have ever come through here. I can't find them all, but, at the moment... Not many made it to, like, the actual AC Milan squad. It looks like one guy. So, they might have had similar luck. I'm also kind of in that same boat at Brescia, although it's maybe a little bit more expected, because one team that did generate good players was Atalanta. And we're in, like, the same region, so we have to, like, overtake them to get some good players. Oh, that hurts. I don't think that they have them currently. I'm trying to think who else. Juventus's current top striker came from Atalanta. See, he's a stud. Absolutely ridiculous. And then, because I'm not going to be able to spell that right. We'll go to... And then they generated Jacopo Zappasotti, also Atalanta new gen. So those are the ridiculous Italians, and they both came from Atalanta, the rivals. So had we been a better youth squad, maybe we could have had these guys. I don't know if that's really how it works, but yeah, Atalanta seems to be the big producers, at least in my series. I'm trying to think who else is good. Oh, Giuffrida. I think he came from. What I do with Zealand Skins is scouting the hot prospects of each team. Yeah, that's interesting. Are you kidding? Okay. I almost lost 2 strikers in 2 days, and I was going to be very upset. I mean, I guess technically I did, but at least not a serious injury. Sure. Yeah, we're still working on balancing all that. But I don't care. Yeah, I mean, I think anyway, like, essentially you're just, like, you're doing the due diligence that your scout should do. I honestly think scouting's a little broken in this game, so I think it's definitely, at least, if there's one thing where you should maybe cheat a little bit compared to what people think you should, I think it's scouting. You should figure out some way to find good prospects, because your scouts are a little shaky at times. And then, just for my own remembrance, I was trying to think of, like, the other top player. So, Giuffrida was another top generated striker talent. And that was Lazio. I thought that was Lazio. Replaced Ciro Immobile. Yeah, and you need homegrown players. Yeah, it's honestly probably not a bad move, even just from, like, the beginning of a save. Because, like, if there's a team ahead of you, you could always, like, I'll loan that player in. Sure, why not? But then you, like, maybe, you know, manipulate it a little bit to where, like, oh, they kind of want to join my team now, and I have money. Oh. I mean, it's too much for me, man. It's too much. Lambert? Yeah, I know. That's why I'm looking at it. Alright. Oh, the pain. Oh. He's probably one of the, he's, at least as far as, like, my knowledge goes in my game, he's the top goalkeeping prospect in the world. So, I mean, I think that's reasonable for him. I don't think I could do that. Nope. Mark Ward? Oh, so it's like a guaranteed? Interesting. Alright, Real Madrid. Alright, I see you. I was like, loan. But that makes sense. They're kind of the one team that could pay all of that. I want to do that. I mean, if he goes to Man United, he's just lost to the Shadow Realm. He's never going to get to play. much do I have left in my payroll budget? Okay. It's like not enough. I could sell some Colossus or something, right? Goes to Man United, stays in the U23 forever. Yeah, pretty much. He might get a chance now. Andrew North is probably one of the other guys. He's 25 now. Yeah, essentially. Oh, actually, I guess a little different. Arsenal had him from the beginning, and but yeah, like he's played a total of 9, 11, 12 games for them. Are you kidding me? Like, why bother? I shouldn't do this, but I kind of want him. Or I don't want him to go to Man United. That's the only reason. I mean, I think he's going to get a chance now, but yeah, this guy, yeah, I just don't have the money. That's kind of my issue. So I have to do that probably, at least. I mean, I hate doing that clause all over the place, but yeah, we don't actually know what they offered them, do we? Salzburg, looking for a starting keeper? I mean, maybe. He may end up just playing for Salzburg. But he'll probably be stupid and choose Man United over them. What is this, 15? I mean, because they're going to want an overpay for that, and with so much in the future. I'll get started with something like that. That'll be like all of our money, but... And I think the problem is Adebayo, he might get healthy just in time where I could loan him out. On the fringe of if I can sell him or not. Piqued my interest enough. I hate you. Can I like rescout guys that I'm not interested in? Whatever. No? No. Are you sure he has 3-star potential? It's starting starting stats there seem a little not quite right. Maybe his current ability is more like 3 silver stars. Don't know. The weirder the nation, the better. Yeah, so I did the other cheat a little bit of going through like all the top, well, not just all the top, every single youth club in youth nation team in the world. And scouting anybody who was like remotely young for that squad. So I have like 500 players to get through, and that's why most of them I was going, no. Use Basuma. Is to, yeah, you just search like youth cap 1, and then you just scout them all. I mean, that probably is the smarter way to do it, to be honest. But nobody said I was smart, so. And filter by the value. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, I knew they were gonna do that. Sometimes they have a youth contract, so you can have them buy like $1 million. It's not bad. I don't know how willing they're going to be to negotiate this. Just gonna bring like, well, because I'm okay with like the installments. Like we can figure it out later. And then if he plays a bunch of games for us, like I don't care what that fee is at that point. Because that won't be anytime soon, and so value I actually like raised, but with kind of the hopes of being a little bit lower on the initial. Hope they accept that. Oh, thanks for dropping in. Yeah, it was fun to chat, and I got to like search up random players that I haven't looked at in forever. But have a good one. Thanks, Auto Select. Way to go. Dumb bitch. Stromberg will play a lot. Denis, Raska, Barcelo, Cabrera, Dolev. I guess I'm to the point where it doesn't matter. Not that any of that mattered, but. More not interested. Okay. That's at least interesting. Good baseline starting stats for Kruger. Oh boy. Ew. And I missed him through something? How? Well, at least some of these players look somewhat interesting. Can't say that for a lot of what we've been scouting. At least a handful. We're also, though at the same time, we're getting into players from Gibraltar, so not, maybe not the most interesting. Who's to say? So Lazio in our first Serie A match of the season will be up. I didn't check it earlier, but we are expanding. I think there'll be some construction going on. Because I don't think the expansion of our stadium is quite finished yet. No, we won't be done until December. Ooh, Inter going after... Yo, welcome, man. How have you been? Holy... Oh, wait, I'm making a similar offer. Are you psychopaths? Are you psychopaths? I wanna... What? What? I raised it. I raised it. Arrange friendly? Arrange friendly? What do you... What? What? Psychopaths. I mean... I think they just told us to fuck off right there. What the fuck? What is this? I forget what my previous offer was, but it wasn't anywhere close to that. Fine, we'll keep the 9 since you're happy there. 10 through various appearances. And I hate the 40%. But I kind of want that to be done. Right. Mexico wants 9 for some reason. Barclay's not my starter quite yet, so I'm not gonna make any. I'm not gonna change that. Adebayo wants to. Oh, right, that's retired for me. It's like, oh, I could do that. No, I can't. So the question I think is mostly Danny Olmo at 15. Is that what I want? What's he wearing? 19 for Spain? I'm sure that's just a random number that... And I mean, he was at Salzburg like this entire time and he was wearing 25. And that number belongs to Consa Phil, who's currently out on loan. Sure. We'll do that. And then everybody else, I think, is going to just stay put. Oh, sweet. And we get the other... back. So another young center back in the... signed, so we're just signing like all the young players ever. I don't know. If they didn't know, if they were looking for 30 million though for Lambert, I'm done. I actually probably should have been done after that last. There's just so many like future fees that it can kind of work in a weird way. Yeah. Sure. But you are going to go on the development list. And then I don't really... I mean, I would love to get your salary somewhat paid for, but yeah, maybe we at least start asking. But then, like, anywhere, I'd prefer you to maybe stay in Italy. Anywhere in Italy. Not interested. Rafael Luis. Okay. Gonna go to that. Dortmund wants Stromberg. Stromberg is good. He's a very solid player. Who's got a ton of athleticism. I mean, honestly, could be even better than oh, that's interesting. Sebastiano Esposito. Good player, but Milan looking to spend a lot of money to get that done. Fiorentina now going after Lambert as well. See, they're paying 22. Attends league press conferences. Delegate. Get out of here. Although I've been playing very slow today, so I don't know how much that's really sped me up. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of okay just to go with Cabrera. They're very similar. I do think, like, Stromberg theoretically has some higher ups in his game, but we've seen it more from Cabrera. Other people are offering you like 22, man. Reject. I'm done. He's just going to exist somewhere else. It's okay, because I can't really use him this year and develop him properly. So I'm fine. Oh, but he's already at Man United. Yeah, actually, I think I knew that. Also, did that lower the price for Arno? The fact that he's, like, super mad? The problem is, I don't get to retain enough salary from the sale. No, it seems like no is the answer. I mean, if I can get close. If Stromberg leaves in time, which I don't know that he will do. Also, what were they saying? They were willing to discuss like 100 million? Like 101? I'd consider it. Come and get it. Problem is, I can only retain 40%, so... And I probably promised some sort of profit from next sale thing. So... Forget about this so I can ask you again, please. Cueva, Jenner, Galbraith. Milan on opening day. Get the job done. 5-0. Garnasecki. Your next game is Inter in a week. So I'm going to get kind of my quote-unquote starters. So Galbraith is still, because we were just playing him in so many games to get him going, we'll hold. Seeing about no, it was weird. It just like stopped scrolling. I was like, I have more players. Well, Stromberg and Cabrera definitely. Danny Olmo. Cueva a little dinged up ahead of this one. Malacia is fine, but we'll go Barcelo. Perfect. And that's what we'll get done. So a big one. Yeah, on opening day, I think it's important, so I think we will go around and say I trust everyone. Oppositionally, we won't tackle hard. Our team is already. Brave is definitely a cut in. Gomez. And then we press the fullbacks because they'll also add width. And then maybe we need to pay attention if somebody's like a Mazzala or something that could add width that way. Oh, and I didn't like change my set piece takers and stuff. Try to remember to do that. I believe we'll do well. Does make it easier to be without Satriano. I don't know. There's no such thing as an easy match. Brescia are beaten in 9 matches against Lazio. Yeah, we definitely want to keep those things going where possible. Atalanta, or Milan, off to a strong start. Just like read the second team instead. So we're hoping to do the same. We've had Lazio's number as mentioned in previous matchups. Can we perform here? An early start with Madu drops in. The new man, Danny Olmo. Should get a lot of games this year. Oscar Cueva Not getting the start in this one. A little dinged up. He might replace Raska, but we do have to figure out maybe one more midfielder. Kind of regardless. But it might be a deadline day loan type situation. Trying to get teams more. And the game is cruising. 40 minutes in. Olmo. Barcelo into Cabrera. Goes back out wide to Barcelo. Brescia haven't been able to get through. Olmo dropping back. Now Barclay, who looks for Stromberg, who's got the free header. A big save. On the ground. On the ground. A low cross there, I think, would make a huge difference. How are their center backs, actually? And 15's not ridiculous. 14's not ridiculous, but they do both beat Stromberg and Cabrera. Also, we need to stop fouling a little bit. It's not too crazy. Another tough day for Danny Olmo. Still maybe learning the squad a little bit, I guess. And his role. Just not a lot happening. We'll get Oscar Cueva in there. Flips play out to Barcelo. Looks to open something up, and he looks low to Cabrera. And a goal and a corner for Brescia. Stromberg? How did you head that over? Barcelo out for Malacia. That's stalemate. Raska searching for Stromberg. Looking for Cabrera. Just wide, a brilliant opportunity. Oh. I didn't think about that. I guess I could have done something a little crazier there in the final few minutes with that sub. I guess I still can. Going a little crazy on game one. I'm trying to get something done here. We haven't exactly dominated the game, so I'm not saying... I don't know that we'd like to serve it, but maybe getting a little weird could be worth it, you know? Rask. Oh, good one to Cabrera. The strikers just have been a little off. A chance for Stromberg, a chance for Cabrera. Neither one really making the most of things. Oh yeah, I guess it's more like... Yeah, it's like an inside forward or something, right? Lazio. Cabrera! Ah, chance. Brancalini. chance. Pekovic didn't really close him down. Could have been an opportunity. Cueva looks for Yenner. That's exactly what we were hoping to generate. Just not our day. I honestly think that's it. It's just not our day. That sucks. That sucks for game one. And honestly, if we had a Satriano or somebody, maybe they made a difference without us getting all weird. But they are pushing more guys forward than we really have bodies back. Raska cuts it out. Yenner. Malacia. Cabrera down for Madu, who takes a shot. Pekovic. And he heads it over. Just down on net, my man. Out towards Cueva. Heads it along. Stromberg. Looking across. Hurtado cuts it out. Orestes. And the final whistle. Brescia bombard the goal, but just wasn't our day in front of it. I mean, we didn't generate that many high chances at 22 shots, but 10 off target inherently. Number of headers over the bar. Yeah, it's only a .07 xG per shot attempt. So I mean, theirs was even worse at like a .04, but not exactly the highest quality opportunities. But we had a couple, and we didn't convert when we had those chances. We got weird, but when we got weird, it didn't necessarily generate any high quality chances. So. So disappointing result after game one. And already behind Milan by 2 points. Hold on, let me... And we're back. Thought it was more important than what it was, I guess. Oh, maybe it is. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Was actually important. Ish. My roommate's on the phone, I assume. Yeah, we got a youth prospect. Yeah, I think he'll bring a fresh perspective. Yeah, I don't think you need the pressure. I guess he wanted a little bit of pressure. I don't know. I think they can coexist. Yeah, we have to bring in those youth players. I think he'll fit into our plans. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, we know what he does well. I just need to do that. I don't know. It's the same as starting any new job. I expect he'll do just fine in the social groups and everything. Yeah, that's a frustrating draw. Had the momentum the whole match. Did actually have a pretty solid passing. We're getting north. We held them back the whole time. Just couldn't quite get it done. Unfortunately. Sure, dude. They're looking at Delmar. Acknowledging that we don't have a ton of money. Yeah, those are all very interesting players, but not quite. also... What do I need? Not dev. Center. I want... transfers. Development list. Failed. Let's try 50%. Okay. Whoa. Oh, but he's already at Benfica. Interesting. Weston McKennie. Bring him back to Serie. Great box-to-box option. But not entirely what we're looking for, although I do think Madu could just kind of play whatever back there, and he's going to be pretty good. Elsewhere, Atalanta also draw Fiorentina, win Juventus win, Hellas Verona beat Napoli, Udinese win, and Inter win. So probably three of your favorites for the top four, and Udinese finished there last year as well. All won pretty handily except for us. Physical, attacking, defending, position. Transfer deadline is in 1 week. After Dortmund's original interest, we don't see much else coming forward. Seville with a goal in the Europa Conference League. Cool. And then after a disappointing performance, we have a pretty important Roma get Olimpio Biao. We have a pretty important game against Inter Milan. Yep. Tariq Lamptey. Roma gets a win as well. Luca Bernardo requests transfer. Once out of Sampdoria. Pretty good jumping reach. Striker. Dual-footed. Doesn't seem to do anything too spectacularly, but not intriguing, I guess. So we're going to hope to kind of get through... Absolutely. I think Barclay's played well since he's been here at a top league. Should get at least a look in. Olympiacos. Beat Dinamo Zagreb with a big comeback. Mansworslov potentially on the move. Adebayo out of his rehabilitation phase. And we get the Champions League group stages draw. We should be second pot again, I would assume. And rewarded some money because we technically qualified for doing nothing. Let's go, boys. I do think that'll be one interesting fact, too, of working in one of these smaller leagues where maybe you always have to be involved in that. Like, trying to get some deals done early, not just, like, completely destroying your team and, like, trying to fix it, right? Started in the Champions League group stages. Group A, Man City. Group B, Barcelona. Group C is Brescia. I did not realize, I maybe should have taken a quick little poll of that, but we were a top-seeded team after winning Serie A, which I guess makes sense, but didn't know that we would get that. And we also won the championship, which I guess should also mean that we're a top seed. If you get a top seed for like Europa Conference League, you should get one for this, right? I guess, or not Europa Conference League, but Europa League. PSG for winning the Champions League last year. And then Benfica, Ajax, Liverpool, and Bayern Munich. Hoffenheim, Chelsea, Dortmund. A little intrigue with Dortmund. Juventus, Arsenal, Man United, Milan, Monaco. Feyenoord, Olympiacos. We get Celtic. That's an interesting draw. Red Bull, Salzburg. Rangers, Lyon, Spartak Moscow, and then Real Madrid. So Real Madrid probably the big scaries out of that group. I wouldn't say there's any big scaries. Honestly, Udinese is probably the scariest. Young Boys, I guess, could be. They're decent teams, but I'm very much leaning towards we should win this. We get Dynamo Kiev, so another intriguing team that I don't think we've seen. So we got a little bit of rivalry with Dortmund and the two kind of teams we haven't really faced before. So that's a little bit of fun, but I think we should definitely be favorites out of the group. Dortmund, I think, could have a chance, but if we get the job done. Yeah, I'll just reset that. We'll be looking more into that when we get there in the future. Yeah, we'll talk about this one. What is your immediate reaction to the Champions League? I think the level of assignment just went up. We know what we're up against, but we believe in our ability. Where you're going to finish. We want to win every... optimistic, and I think we'll give anyone a game. You have an update on Martin Satriano's injury. Still not fit. We're not worried, but it'll be a little while. He's a fine player. That's exactly why we loaned him out. We're pleased with his progress. Not to see. We just want to keep pushing him. I won't be discussing any transfer issues. Signal Uda Park. Magnificent venue. I hope we do ourselves justice. Could we see? There's a chance. There's always a chance, but it's not going to come easy. What do you make against Milan getting Liverpool, Spartak Moscow, and Young Boys? I think they'll do well. Fair to say, Dortmund, they're a good team. Yeah, I want to do a little bit more studying. Yeah, they're new teams to me. I don't know. I would suspect we do well, but large flow of your attacking intent. Certainly hope so. We need to strike a balance, but we want to go out and attack. So I probably won't do too many Champions League things, but at least this introductory one this season. Well, good. If the fact that I don't have that, I kind of wish that was like a one-off press conference thing that was like always like, all right, do you want to go or do you not want to go to do that one? Because like the rest, because I'm gonna set the Champions League thing, and I'm definitely gonna forget about actually taking part next year. If we get to next year, I guess. So, some more signings going around as players keep moving. You know, he is a fullback with a little bit of offense to him, so let's make sure. Milan versus Sassuolo. And Milan do well yet again. Milan have scored 9 goals in 2 games. Yeah, in the under 18s. Olmo out of Spain, but Jan Valeta gets called up, maybe in his place. An interesting little. It's interesting. That is very interesting. Sure. We continue to go through. Yeah, just anywhere. And yeah, we're going into the international break. Yeah, I played a couple of guys. Yeah, definitely get Galbraith out there. I think we're gonna start Oscar Cueva. Madu, Raska. And we'll get Malacia a start. And Stromberg and Cabrera up front. So in the 2 games we've played today, we had a crazy game, and then we had a stalemate. So hopefully we can get back to scoring some goals. Pretty frustrating first match. footed. What do you have to do after disappointing outing against Lazio? Put the ball in the back of the net. I want a little bit more from everybody. First goal is crucial. It's nice to start well. If we go the front foot nice and early, what's the mood in the locker room? I think we're a confident bunch. I really see ourselves winning games. We need to keep building on that. And still a lot of change as more players move on. More players coming into important roles. Everything's a little bit tricky. We are away to a dangerous Inter squad. Inter have signed 2 of the top young Italian stars that have been developed in this save. But I'm pretty confident in our team in general. Pekovic slides it down to Barclay. He's looking for space. He opens something up, but can't get a dangerous cross on Pekovic. Barclay. Madu again. Raska now at the edge of the box. Plays it into Pekovic. Barclay's got it wide. Cabrera turns, rifles, but just wide. An opportunity early there for him. Abdullah with a shot. Galbraith a chance, and it's wide. Stayed up as the attack continued. Oh, yeah, and I didn't change that again, did I? (17, 14, 14, 16). Cueva, and he gets absolutely taken out. And a red card for Lautaro Martinez. That dude plays it short into Stromberg, who just goes all the way back to Raska, who looks forward to Cueva. Anthony Madu, Stromberg, headed down away from him. Well, now we really want to win. And I think we've looked the better team so far, so hopefully we can get it done. Malacia, Cabrera, and Fernandez somehow makes a save at the near post. I don't mind that. Galbraith just over. We need to start putting it on the net, boys. At least make. At least make them work for it. Stromberg. Good touches. Somehow puts it past near post. Please be onside. Please be onside. There was a little weirdness going on where I think that he may have strayed. But a brilliant goal. And he is on. I just wasn't sure because I saw that like little wiggle that they sometimes like to do where it's like, oh, trying to get back onside. But I saw that some guys were tipped back. But we take full advantage. Yeah, it was. The other guys on the line. That's good news. We can hopefully coast a little bit. I mean, I want more. Giuffrida heads it up for a corner. So right back to it. Pekovic. And it's in. Danilo Pekovic. And that'll put Brescia up 2. We'll keep the pressure on. Especially with Milan already scoring like 9 goals. Not to necessarily say, but this is an opportunity to score goals against an opponent we do expect to be there at the end of it all. Nobody forward. They don't have that extra guy. But that could have been an interesting counterattack chance for Inter. Danilo Pekovic getting forward, and he finds Stromberg, who looks to turn. And another corner drawn. Pekovic way over, and we'll get a... Ooh, nice ball out to Giuffrida. He's got 3 Brescia men in front of him, though, but he drops it to Sapasoti. The 2 young Italian stars looking to maybe make some magic happen. Pedro Neto. Sapasoti makes himself available, and he looks to turn. He does. Him and Giuffrida do have those individual brilliance moments, but so does Marco Carnesecchi. And a big save there. Pedro Neto. Carnesecchi makes the save. Well, he was offside anyway. But some chances generated there from Inter. Brescia not doing much on the other side, but they are generating corners. And Pekovic indicating he was pushed on this one. And I don't... Danny Olmo, Oscar Cueva is like strangely good at them, but I am gonna go to Maximiliano Cabrera. Now, it may do the opposite, but Cabrera's been a guy who's had a couple of chances at goal, but maybe not too many yet. But has started kind of all 3 games. A goal here. I know we're going into an international break, so I think things are going to be a little bit weird, but I think a goal here could give him some confidence going forward. Even if it is a penalty. And it is a well-taken one at that. Maximiliano Cabrera gets it done. Harry Kane classic. Well, I guess it's maybe a little different than Harry Kane because of footedness. But right around that area, just like a little elevated, hard. Galbraith cuts it out. This should be a good game for Galbraith to maybe play the whole thing as well. Into Cabrera, drops it off to Lazio, who strides forward. Looking for room. Rasca. Cabrera. Peter Rasca. Rasca gets stripped. An opportunity for guys who maybe haven't gotten a chance to play yet this year too, I think. Jenner could get himself a game. Flips out just to no one, but Cueva picks it up. Stromberg. Back to Danilo Pekovic, who's been in advanced positions, and a blast from range from Madu. Raspadori in for Pedro Neto at the 15-minute mark. Zapasodi. Oscar Cueva did get in front of it. The pressure is on him. Raspadori looks to chuck it forward. Giuffrida makes a perfect run. An opportunity, but Karnaseki makes a good save. Galbraith did well to kind of keep him to the outside, though. Malacia looks to go wide and looks to whip something into Stromberg, who heads it over the bar. Stromberg turns, fires. Can't find it. So, yeah, how's everybody doing? Nordberg. So Jenner definitely out there. We'll take Stromberg out. He's been playing a little bit more frequently, I would say. Denis in for Danilo Pekovic. And we'll flip him. Galbraith will go to the right side. And we'll get Nordberg in for Madu. I don't know. I don't tend to like work ball into the box, but we are like all over the place. Anything else I want to do? I think that's it. I was like thinking about something when I did that move, but must not have been important. Oh. I know what I was thinking of. And just a little flip there. Although Jenner actually is probably pretty decent. Well, yeah, Yenner is actually probably he's just as good as Abdullah, right? In the air. Barclay in space. And he'll blast it, but wide of the mark. An opportunity for the wingback to get on the score sheet. Nothing too special, too exciting today, to be honest, still. From the offense. Barclay gets a little dinged up right before international break, too. Hopefully nothing serious. The final whistle blown, an important day, dominant from the beginning. I mean, there was an early red card. But we did take full advantage. We put the pressure on. I mean, we looked the better team before that happened, so I was kind of hoping we would get a positive result anyway, but that just helped guarantee it, and we didn't really take much threat the other way. Yeah, excited for the boys to get applauded off in a big win. And it's important to get those wins over these other top teams. Tight groin, but Barclay should be generally okay. And another good day from Anthony Madu. Yeah, I'll just never say never. Would be interested in one more midfield player. But we're going to wait to really even take a look until... Hey, player sales are now to 100%. Man, I've been like interested in that like the whole time. I mean, I don't think it doesn't seem like anybody's coming for any of our players. Which I guess is good. But yeah, I need one more player in the midfield. And who that player is may decide a lot of like how we set up our midfield too, and what we're planning on doing. Are we trying to get Cueva and Olmo on the field at the same time? You know what I mean? Or are they more just like we're always going to have a good player in that advanced midfield role? Torino with a big win. Udinese and Juventus get the job done. Cagliari beats Frosinone. Lazio beats Roma. Sampdoria beating Napoli. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of okay with this. I think the one thing we'll do is we'll throw in like a community outreach and like a team bond or something like that. On our international duty. And we also need to loan out that one player we brought in. That very much needs to happen. I'm kind of surprised nobody's come for him at all. I don't know, because, like, he's going to get mad if I don't loan him out. Which is fine, I can just throw him into the under-20s this year and not really worry about it, but it does kind of suck to be paying a guy that's just, like, angry on the bench when it's like, I kind of want you to also... I also want you to be on loan, man. That's why I made that promise. I didn't think it would be 0 teams coming for you. You know what I mean? Hard-working midfielder Graham McCaffrey with good jumping reach. So that was something that we are losing. We're losing some height in our midfield. Good jumping reach, good bravery. Heading's not very good. Can pass, has vision. He is an intriguing player on the loan list. So we'll take part? No. No, 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 no. 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 Dude. You can't. You can't. You guys can't. You can't do that to me. You can't do that to me. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't know what to say to that. Anyway, we will. I'm going to go a little bit, probably to the 10-hour mark, and then we're really going to start looking at players. But ahead of that, I do just want to make sure that because we're probably not bringing anybody in on like a permanent basis, as much as I would love Jean Arnaud. I guess Zhikanov could be interesting. He's like so... He is intriguing because of how like good his physicals are. I'm almost wondering if his ability at a 2-star like would almost immediately change just like playing in Serie A and doing all of those things. Like I almost think they would change instantly for him. But I'm not... He is somewhat interesting to be a more attacking-minded wingback, but I don't think I make that move unless Malacia goes, and there's no way. I mean, nobody's come for Malacia, right? Which is just a big L on my part. Yeah, we'll just go to the bottom end of this guide value. We'll just see if we maybe do drum up some interest there. Because that, and especially bringing Foley back, I wouldn't mind maybe taking a chance on a Zhikanov or something like that. Like, he looks like he's athletic enough already where he could almost immediately jump in. And then, like, Barcelo's our main guy. And maybe we got a really nice, potentially offensive-minded wingback coming in. I don't like the super inconsistency, though, so I don't know that we'll make that move, but it at least maybe opens us up to do something at the left wing-back role. It's one of those things. Malacia was injured all year last season. It might just be better to move on, cut our losses. Not the best transfer. And whatnot. Anyway. What am I doing? Transfers. Okay. I mean, we're pretty confident. I mean, I say that, but I'm definitely thinking about, like, somebody in the midfield. I don't think anybody's going to come for Malacia even at that price. Well, I mean, we knew we were going to sell him for a loss, kind of regardless. That's too early. Only played a handful of games. Another a nice game for Consafil, so he is playing well out there. No interest in joining Aston Villa. That's fine. I mean, I'm not opposed to making a move there either. They pay us for Mohamed Yenner. Bundesliga. I don't know. If you were a top team in the Bundesliga, maybe. This is so tough. Because it would be good for him, I feel like, to just be like an important player, striker, just getting it done. And like, we still have a year of control, so like, he could come back. Depending on how his loan goes, we sign him, or we could sell him next year or something like that. You know, that's one more year older on Satriano, who just had a major injury to start this season. And that's maybe kind of the question. So, how far away is Satriano? The problem is when we're playing the season, Satriano, Cabrera, and Stromberg rotating. And as long as they're healthy, those guys are really, really good. Yeah, like, international break and Satriano's going to be kind of like coming back in. I like Yenner. I want to keep Yenner around. I thought about keeping him around this year. But I don't see somebody coming last minute for Stromberg. And more so, I would maybe be interested in Stromberg next year, or in January potentially. Can I add? So he can be recalled. Okay. I think we'll accept that for Mohamed Yenner. I think that's a tricky... It is tricky. But I just think that might do his... Yeah, we're not going to recall those guys. I mean, I did say Valletta could be a useful center midfielder, right? I did say that. I mean, maybe that's one of the options we have to consider. If we don't see anything else here, like sorry, not sorry. PSG, we're bringing Valletta off alone so he can play deep lying playmaker for me. Possible. Well, I mean, good news too, though, I guess Milan has also stopped spending kind of so crazily. I think there's still enough for creative. It's a little bit of a lie, but... The Valletta thing is interesting. He's just so expensive. That's our transfer budget. Is bringing Jan Valletta back. Fiorentina will get Philippe Lambert. Atalanta gets Villalobos. Yeah. Oh man. It's going well over. So Mohamed Yenner will be joining Eintracht Frankfurt. Yeah. And an opportunity for him, I think. That does open it up to a little bit if we do want to bring don't really know that deal. Sebastiano Milan will get Sebastiano Esposito. That's kind of an interesting move to me. 29-year-old striker. I mean, maybe they're kind of hurting for that pure striker, and now they got one. They have a lot of those guys that can do all of these positions. This is one where it seems like just put him up front and let him go. So maybe that's what they're thinking. So, I do think we have to consider anybody here. So just in our price range, who's probably the best? Oh, he's already leaving on free transfer? Is that just something he, like, declared he was doing? Or... So, I guess maybe he's not interested in doing anything. So, there is Yuri Tielemans, who has 19 passing, 18 vision. Oh, his pace is so bad, though. You know, like, yes, just stand there and make good passes, but I don't think I can do that. Just that athleticism is not good enough to me. He's not intriguing, but yeah. There's a reason he's only like 6 million, right? And of the best potential listed, good passing. Cosio is a natural deep-lying playmaker. Decent with both feet is interesting. Athletic, more athletic than Yuri Tielemans, but that's not saying much. We could. Yeah, we could. I think that's... So that is the one option. And actually, I don't know if I can actually bring Valletta off because I did agree to it recently. So the other option is to call Jan Valletta down. So Cosio is actually a better defender. Valletta is very physically gifted, much better vision, attacking, technical. Yeah, I just don't... Yeah, it doesn't seem like Cosio is going to be very good. So... a weird... I did not think I was going to do this. Yes. We're going to bring Jan Valeda back, and he is going to be our other midfielder. He is going to become the deep lying playmaker. And then because of that, I think Peter Raska is going to stay training as a deep lying playmaker. That's so weird. I did not think I was going to do that, but... I mean, I in all honesty, I do just think that he's kind of the best option that I know about. Yeah, and we'll just we'll try to work on his defensive skill set a little bit, if possible. It's not really gonna matter. Another good group of players to just add. Increase our knowledge a little bit. Go like all the way down. Shane Nolan is the name I'll try to remember. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of that. And I don't think there's anything else we'll do. I think we will leave the potential... Uh-oh. Did I make a mistake? Because that's a $10 million mistake. When I don't have $10 million to spend, really. Hold on. Okay, I mean, there doesn't seem to be any problems. Loan Victor Christensen. That's not a bad little deal, potentially. Do you have any plans? Yeah. Oh, I do probably need to take him off the transfer list, too. Michael Douglas. There's Shane. Luis Ollier. Victor Cabrera wants to move. Gladbeck make a Heineck Becca offer, a big one at that. Wow. Wow. Gladbeck to go, so we'll make a little bit off of the big transfer. Also, we get a little bit of money from a sell-on clause, only like 14K, but we also get another 600K from Solidarity. So Heineck Becca, just for people unfamiliar with his story, we bought him out of the Czech Republic. Played 2 pretty decent years for us, but just looked like he was more of a ball-winning midfielder. He does have the vision, but doesn't really have the passing. As we started to move those roles more offensively, it just seemed like it wasn't going to fit. We then sold him to RB Leipzig, where he didn't really do much. And then they sold on pretty quickly as he went to rivals Atalanta. He had a few key moments at Atalanta, including I think he had like a very nice game against like Inter, like a very late goal or something against some top teams. And now he gets a big sale back to the Bundesliga at Gladbach. Very interesting little series of events. I doubt it, especially with how much time. Especially now. I'd be open in January, though, potentially. Could be. Things could keep going. A late transfer offer. Oh. Yeah, you know, I said I should take... Yeah, I'm keeping... I want to keep him. Yeah. Hey, great. So, we'll get a little bit of money. He'll go to Hellas Verona. He'll be an important player in Serie A. Okay. I mean, that's very interesting news. Okay. Nothing too special out of that group, it seems. Yeah, just making sure. So Malacia, we're also going to take him off. The list. And then we'll look for Ezinoli to get loaned. And that'll be our move. And we'll keep the other guy as depth. Do I need him as depth? Yeah, I guess Orestes is still here, but good. Nicolo Zanolio to Man United. Cole Palmer to Aston Villa. Yeah, I think right now Nordberg's just a very flexible player that we'd like to keep at the club. Wang Hao Shen will go on loan. So funny, I know like so many of these like young guys. I don't think we have another round of this, but Amaro. I'm trying to remember. Monty? Mandatory future fees, huh? Okay, with like buyback and 50%. Beraldi, yeah, we're not too concerned about that. So yeah, give us a little bit of cash this year and a mandatory future fee with a sell-on clause. I'm okay with those. I'm okay with those things. As we continue to thin the squad a little bit, we've expanded it. Now we're refining it a little bit, getting rid of the trash, getting a little bit of flow. So Beraldi rejects his loan offer, and Monty will stay at Brescia. Yeah, I think he'll thrive. I'm kind of curious how much they might have spent 80 million just for a backup striker, but it just might be a slightly different build, if that makes sense. Wants to play for Brescia. Oh, he did get loan listed. I mean, it's maybe a little too late. Atalanta want to go. I mean, we could do that. Let me let me debate on Mino, because I was thinking Mino originally as an option. Scouting in progress. So the real question is Nahu Mino, who does seem like he's got really high potential, just the way that like Chelsea are valuing him, right behind there. He could play that deep lying playmaker role. He could play that attacking midfield role, and he could just be another player. I think it means we have kind of one too many guys. So I think the thing that kind of happens is Patrick Nordberg not just being a flexible injury guy, but I think Nordberg also becomes looking to be the backup left winger, almost. I think. That's so tough. So this is what I was thinking was an option, right? And I was like, no. They were like, because they were so crazy. I didn't even like look at this to see if he was loan listed. I think we bring him in. I think it'll be tough to balance, but I think we bring him in. I think he'll back up Olmo going forward, since he doesn't have a ton of finishing ability, but I think he's got a little bit, and with the dual-footedness, I think is kind of intriguing. And we saw last year him pop up 7 goals, more goals over assists for us. And then we just get another like decent body in the midfield. My thought is then it'll be Valletta and Cueva as our deep lying playmakers. On the right side, it will be... I mean, I don't know if we even have enough time to get this deal done. Actually, there's only an hour left. But and then I was thinking Madu, Raska as the box-to-box guys. Full-time box-to-box. And then Malacia kind of becomes, if he's healthy, fine. If he's not, we're done with him. And we're gonna play Patrick Nordberg there more often than not. I'm just trying to think if that's stronger. The question becomes, are we good enough defensively at deep lying playmaker? Because that was something that we built last year, was a very, very strong defense. Valletta has 4 tackling. Like, he is not good at that at all. And then Cueva's got 6 tackling. So they have like the same exact weakness. Of like, neither is really good. The thing is, I don't really want to play... As much as I'm, like, doing this, like, song and dance, I don't really want to play Nordberg. In the midfield. I've been, like, doing all that I can to avoid him in the midfield. I just don't think that he's... I don't think he's necessarily bad at that, but I don't think that that's necessarily his strength either. Like, because his passing's a little weaker, he does some of these other things. Like, he doesn't have, like, a huge strength that says good at something in the midfield, right? So he kind of becomes a full-time left wing then. And potentially has to fill on the right wing back spot. I think let's try it. I don't know that there's enough time, so that debate may have been for nothing. I mean, also the optional future fee does nothing for me. But honestly, this is just a pretty good value. Of, like, worst case scenario is 3 million. I guess the debate is, could we promise regular starter? I don't know, but I think we could try, right? Aston Villa making a last-second effort for Ewan McKenzie. And we do lock in Nahul Mino will be coming back to Brescia in the final moments of deadline day. Yeah, I don't know. Things could change by the midseason as things look to balance out. We bring in Nahul Mino at the last minute. And we continue to sit pretty comfortably in 4th place. Behind Milan, Juventus, and Inter. But we are starting to push above some of these other things. The big deal was Joel Jumper, another top of the line player going to Milan, this time from Arsenal. Zanolio goes out on deadline day to Man United. Surprise, surprise, Milan are your biggest spenders. Brescia clear ranks, 26 players out. Benevento, 11 players in. Milan's net spend, probably about 100 mil, though. Not ridiculous. Give her the technical side after. It was a late one, let's leave it at that. Yeah. Of course, it was tempting, but nice to get Nahul Mino back in a Brescia uniform. Had a couple of moments of glory last year, but I think a little bit of excitement that opens us up and lets us maybe be a little bit more flexible. So Cabrera's under 21, Nordberg. Just making sure nobody's left out. Monty. Yeah, because Cesarano is technically a brand new. So it seems like nobody's left out then. Yeah, so nobody there. So yeah, we'll auto select, but then we'll go down the list. And I'll just select a handful of players that I know are going to play pretty frequently. It's not really a huge deal who gets selected. It's just we still have such a young team, ultimately, is really all that says. Most people players are probably on international duty, but I think we will look at our individual training here a little bit. So Oscar Cueva, I think he will move in. I think he's going to probably get some attacking midfield reps still, but I think we're going to drop him back into the deep lying playmaker role. Just let him kind of run about. Peter Raska, we're going to move into the box-to-box role. Doesn't have that brilliant dribbling and some of those things, but I think mentally he's got all of those steps. And I expect we will see him play a little deep line playmaker as well, potentially flipping over. We will see Patrick Nordberg switch his focus to probably become a wingback on the left, even though he's not as strong there. Valletta, as mentioned, will fall back into that deep lying playmaker. We also get him back after loaning out Mohamed Yenner. As a potential, he can play striker in some desperation. Wondering about him as like a deep lying playmaker too, but I think we will put Mino on the advanced midfielder on attack, and we will keep Danny Olmo there too. Or do we do Danny Olmo as the deep lying playmaker? Well, he still has like places shots and that finishing. I think getting him closer to the net in general is probably good. Then advance forward, advance forward, advance forward. So that's what we're going to do. Abdullah Pekovic Barclay in your Serie A team of the week. So, yeah, we already know Mino. So I've pushed this stream too long already. So we're going to be ending it right here. Thanks everybody who stopped in. Like I said at the top of the stream, I think we are going to look to finish year 11, and I think that's going to be playing every day, or every stream day that I have, until FM23 comes out. So I was interested in Triangle Strategy now that it's come to PC. I still think that's potentially a game that I want to do, but it doesn't look like I'll necessarily ride on the new train for it. It's just some timing with things. It's like my only other option would have been to switch to that full time suddenly after being like, oh, we're at the end of last stream being like, oh, we're gonna do more Brescia. I'm so excited. To then just be like, yeah, we're done. We're done for FM23. So I didn't want to do that. So we're going to play Brescia. We're going to play it out. We're going to play as much as we can for the next three month or so until FM23 comes out. I'm still not quite sure what we're doing. I kind of have that general sense I've mentioned a couple of times throughout the stream, but we will see what that is when it comes to you there. Thanks everyone for stopping in. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And then, hey, YouTube, like, subscribe, come on, join a stream sometime. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Peace.